Yes, people, what is going on? We are back yet again from another P2. Okay, this time in Spain, in the streets of Barcelona, what seemed to be pain in Spain. But on reflection, how should we really be feeling this evening? Big up to Mahad, my co-host, of course, to talk all things McLaren, man. Mahad, how you doing, man? Talk to us.
I'm all good. Still recovering from the Spanish Grand Prix, and I watched it on a bit of a delay. I watched it on the Monday morning, without
Oh,
no spoilers.
do you know what? I noticed that on Saturday because I was tweeting on Saturday and I see that there was nothing coming. So I was like, okay. So that's why I was just like, I put yes for Lando to get that pole position. Because I was like, yeah, I
Yeah,
noticed that there was no tweet there.
so I watched quali late night on Saturday, and then I watched
Yeah.
the race on Monday morning, and I just didn't know how it was going to play out. I thought I feel like it's a opportunity gone, but we're there. We're there. The fact that we even got opportunities like this in the first place, it's
Yeah.
just it's remarkable, and at the same time, it's like it's execution time now. This is where we're at the big table now. This is reality. This is, do you know what, all this other stuff that we've seen this season? Yeah, we've been quick, but is it been circumstance? Is it been Red Bull's
Yeah.
not at a particular track? They're not strong. X, Y, Z. This is the car testing track to see what your team is about. Only
Oh,
two teams that turned up was Red Bull and McLaren.
oh, that's a fact. I mean, the what you just said there. This is a car testing circuit. This is where you know if your car is for real. And I was looking at your Williams, I was looking at your RBs, I was looking at certain teams, your Aston Martins, and they were not ready to hang. Ferrari, I don't know what was really going on. They were not ready to hang. But you see us and Red Bull, yeah, this car's for real. One thing I definitely took away from the weekend, P2 is ours in the constructors. I'm sorry, guys. It's done.
This is not Ferrari fan TV, but I don't know what's going on over there. But let it continue. Let it
Let it
continue.
continue. When
But
Charles, they're still asking about strategy, even with Fred Ferser in there now. The man's asking why are we on plan A? What are we doing on plan A?
I don't know what's going on over there. I'm not interested. I just feel like it's a given now that both our cars should be ahead of them, apart from tracks that suit them. I think Reserve was talking about, oh yeah, we should be strong in Baku and Singapore. Brother, that's off other side of summer break. Why are you talking about them tracks for? You need to talk
Why?
about being strong now. The fact that our track, we have seen proof of the pudding now. Every single person that's in it, we've seen proof of the pudding. Every single type of track, we are there.
No, absolutely, absolutely. We've actually stood the test of every circuit or every type of circuit.
Different
Anyway.
type, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, here we go. I mean, let's get into the comment section. Big up to everybody that's locked on right now. Drea, always lovely to see you as well here with us. Adam, big up yourself. Evening, lads. Hello, hello, says Z. Masab in the building as well. Drea saying I was scared about that turn one from the beginning. Hoped it would play out the other way, but couldn't be too sad. I think it was Rachel Brooks on the Sky Sports feed
Yeah.
who went up to Zach and said, 11 seconds down to turn one, like how nervous do you feel type of thing. And Zach Brown was sort of like, well, now that you've told me it's 11 seconds, I am a bit nervous. And I didn't really think, a part of me made me feel, is starting P1 the bad side of the grid, because it seemed like you're on the left-hand side, turning into turn one, you're on the outside, even though
Yeah.
turn two's on the inside. So it seemed a little bit, sketchy here and there. Did that play into Norris's head? Did that play into the team? It seemed like, there's a bit of mind games having to be arranged there.
I think if we just talk about the race start, because I think a lot of people believe that's when the race was gone. The race win was over, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And me personally, I think it was a good start, a good initial launch. I think the launch was a little bit better than Verstappen's, but clearly something's going on with the gearbox, with the second phase. When they start going up the gears,
Yeah, yeah.
Red Bull's better than us, because
Well,
even Mercedes is better than us, because Russell and
Russell.
Verstappen were able to get to a certain speed that we wasn't able to get to. Felt the car was a bit bogged down, and then that's no fault of Norris's. That's just something going on with the car at that moment in time. Secondly, there was a tactic that Norris deployed to try to cut him.
Yeah.
Try to lock off the inside line for Verstappen, but if you fully can't commit to doing it, you should not even be attempting to do that. To just cover your area. But he was like halfway between two houses where he tried to do a chop block, but he realised, oh, Verstappen's on my back wheel, so I can't really do that. He tried to do a little bit of a Rosberg type of move, and it's like, it's not going to work here. And in turn, both Verstappen and Norris ended up giving Russell the biggest toe you ever see in your entire life.
Yeah.
And he did a bit of a little Fernando Alonso from way back in the day. Just slapped it around the inside. And I think Russell, that move was brave, but it's also solely dependent on Norris being compliant. If Norris is not compliant and breaks early, if it's another driver, if it's like, I don't know, Sergio Perez, they're not going to be compliant. They're just going to clot you, and you're gonna get put in the gravel trap.
Yeah.
So the fact that he knew it's Norris, and he knew that Norris is not going to ruin his race by pushing him out wide, he managed to do the glitzy move, and it was a good move. It was impressive. We've seen Russell in opening stints is very, very aggressive, but he fell backwards anyway. But for me, that race was that the first couple of laps was decided. People say it's the start. For me, it's the first couple of laps. You see the same way that Red Bull said this overtake is critical.
Yeah.
To overtake George, that should have been the same impetus to Norris rather than saving tires.
It's a tough one to digest, that one, because as you say, that second phase of the start where you could hear the wheel spin, couldn't you? When they were going up the gears at the start of the race, you could hear that wheel spin in Norris's car, and it almost seemed like there was nothing that Norris could do about that situation. Like, no matter what, this is what the car was. As you say, though, when it came to, I think Max getting ahead of George Russell so quickly is what kind of final nail in the coffin for me.
That was the race was over at that point.
That's when it was over, because I think if Russell could have held on a little bit, then maybe we would have stood a chance to at least, because the gap would have been a lot more squeezed, and so we would have at least had the chance to battle against both drivers. So yeah, I genuinely think as soon as Max went over George, that's where the race win was.
And I personally don't think we're quicker than Red Bull at the start of races. Like, obviously, I think not only Verstappen made it a critical move, like, I've got to get past this guy. They were just quicker than Merc at that point. I don't know how quick we were compared to Merc at that point. But regardless, I need you to use overtake. Stop the battery, whatever. Just get rid of this guy so you're in cleaner. And then you can save your tyres. I don't know if the pit wall made that clear to him, or if Norris knew that that he needed to do that, because I know Norris takes it quite easy early in the stint. Yeah. But this is a track position track. You can't be wasting time with cars in front of you in the air. As you could see with Oscar, even in that opening stint. Just behind the Alpine, just wasting time.
Yeah. No, 1,000%. Let me get into the comment section, because a lot of people have been talking whilst we've been on this topic. Despite Piastri getting P7, we gained 7 points over Ferrari this weekend. We could have had a lot more. Not going to complain, says Adam. Z says, I'm not happy. Z, I was like you on Sunday. On Sunday, I was like, I was hurting. Let me put it that way.
No, I won't pretend that I am happy. I'm not happy. Yeah. But I'm aware of where we're at.
But that's the thing. Like last week we said, last race, it was, should we have won? And we're here again. Should we have won? It's almost like, how many times will we be saying this? Now, don't get me wrong. We're heading into 2 races in the next couple of weeks that we love. Okay. We've been in race weekends where we don't like the circuit, and we've done all right. We've done pretty good. But yeah, this one here, I mean, Austria can easily make Spain disappear and go away. Austria could really be good for us. Musab says, sorry, go ahead, man. You was going to say something?
No, I was just going to say, I think we're close. Things are happening. But what I'm seeing, and I'm not happy with, is a lot of the blame game
Oh,
amongst fans. We can't be
oh,
doing blame game. Oh,
talk to
it's
me.
this
What's
person, it's this person, or it's this strategy, it's whatever. Everybody, they've been here before. The lights are bright.
mm,
You're going
mm.
up against Red Bull that's been fighting at the front for how long? These are
At
seasoned
least,
vets. They knew immediately what the race was, the picture. They've been here.
yeah,
This is not like what McLaren have been doing, which is literally racing behind you and seeing what's going on behind you. This is a completely different board game,
yeah.
right?
A
And
thousand
so
percent,
so everybody needs to adapt,
a
and that
thousand
includes
percent.
the drivers and the team. At the end of the
Yeah,
day,
no doubt. Yeah, we are walking into territory that we are not familiar with. Again, they said to Norris, first podium for McLaren since 2011 in Spain. Like,
yeah.
last week it was 2012 or 14 or wherever it was. This week it's 11. There's going to be some circuits that we have to remember. Like, you've got to remember how far it is that we have come. I know we're going to keep saying the same thing kind of over and over again, but listen, this is the reality. And we briefed everybody at the start of the season, and even at the beginning, like midway through last season, we said, listen, knocking on them podium doors, like podiums are just regular attendance for us at this moment in time. Okay. And now it's a case of, guess what? We're actually in the same boxing ring as Max Verstappen, which is incredible, if you ask me. Big up to everybody that's watching right now. Can we please smash a like on this video just so that we can get the stream going around, and make sure you tell a McLaren fan to tell a McLaren fan that we are here, we exist. Because there's people who are looking for some Formula One content, okay, that are McLaren fans, but instead they're getting that generic, you know what I mean? All week race weekend, they're getting the, here's how the Spanish Grand Prix was for everybody. No. This is just for us. This is just for McLaren, okay? So if you're a McLaren fan or people that are, make sure you do let them know about this channel. Masab says, just saying, I feel Red Bull Racing is giving off Merc trying to be underdogs during their era.
Yeah, well, they're gonna have to just do what they want to say, what they want to say, and do what they want to do. Clearly, they've had a huge gap last year. Evidently, that gap is closed. So you can do the underdog talk. You can say, "Look, it's Max Verstappen. It's not the car." Da, da, da. And in reality, when people say, "Oh, McLaren should have won that race. Lando should have won that race," blah 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 blah, we're going up against Max Verstappen. This guy's not a scrub. We're not going up against some sort of bum that has been gifted a car. He was winning races before he got a rocket ship. He was winning races. He was there. So in reality, what we have to do is tempt our expectations, because I think people in their mind, if you're even marginally the fastest,
Yeah.
you assume that that person should win the race. When in reality, the driver gives you temps.
Oh God, 1,000%. Because Sergio Perez is in the other car, and Piastri's in the other car.
The experience gives you temps, and the talent gives you temps, and Max Verstappen is not lacking in any of that.
It's facts.
And when it comes to experience, Norris doesn't have the sole experience of what Max Verstappen has in terms of being at the front.
No, he doesn't.
So don't let other people put that expectation on you that, oh, we should be winning races at Canton because the car is marginally faster. Not even better, If we had a rocket ship, we would finish 1-2 every race.
Yeah.
That's the reality.
But here's also something else to add, is that we're gonna win races. We're gonna win races this season, guys. In case you're not aware, yeah, we're gonna win more races this season, and at least we can bank on that a little bit, and take it in when it comes and as it comes. So that's something to always look forward to, no doubt.
Yeah, and I think Lando's been hard on himself because he's hungry. He feels like, I need to start stat padding now. He said over the years, and I think a lot of Lando fans have said over the years, look, he doesn't have the car. He now has the car. So he feels like, oh, I need to do everybody in the factory a favor and actually deliver on it. But listen, stuff's still coming, right?
We're being asked the question.
Upgrades are still coming, right?
The upgrades are still coming, and we were being asked this weekend: is this car able? Is Lando Norris able to win the Drivers' Championship this season? They've asked him that question. you know, and that just tells you.
Yeah, but they asked Leclerc that question in Monaco. What happened?
Love me.
So don't listen to what the media narrative is. They're going to say that to everybody that second. They said it to Perez and he went off a cliff last year.
All right, it better not be the curse then. It better not start just sending us elsewhere, man. I don't know. Big up to Bonzo. What's going on? Hope you're doing well. Hope you are good. He says there. They say there. Alex the Oracle says hello, lads from Mallorca. Hope you're having a good one up there, mate.
Shout outs to Alex the Oracle. Shout outs to everybody at McLaren Fan News. I see Google at you guys. You're doing big. You're doing big things, man. Come on.
There we go. Masab says, don't think we're the fastest car, not making excuses. Where are you with this debate here? Because it was Max says Red Bull's not the fastest, and Norris was saying we were definitely the fastest. At least
you know
today.
what? You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of 2021.
What, between Hamilton and Max?
Yeah, when in reality it was week by week. It was split in hairs.
You think? Yeah.
Yeah, and they can say, "Oh, I don't think we're the fastest car." Norris can say it, Verstappen can say it, but what I would be worried about if I'm Verstappen is that I've upgraded our car a couple of times after we've brought the Miami upgrade. They haven't moved forward. And McLaren's only brought one upgrade this year.
Yeah.
In Miami. If McLaren start putting bits on the car now, with the understanding and evidence that it moves the car forward, we're not going to have this conversation.
What I find amazing is, do you remember how long ago it was where people were asking, what's happened to McLaren? What happened to the McLaren of last year that ended last season so strong? Where are they this year?
What happened to everybody saying, "Oh, whatever it takes"? Remember when we brought out the videos at the beginning of the season, and Lando signed the contract, and then like Lando's made a mistake, or why are you guys setting yourselves up with this? Whatever he takes, whatever. Everything is orchestrated. Everything is delivered on time,
mate.
Everything that's said happens. So when Stella says in the next couple of races they're going to put upgrades on the car, guess what? The car's going to move forward. Ferrari have put upgrades on the car. They are now fourth. They are now fourth fastest. Red Bull have put upgrades on the car. Don't people? I've noticed Red Bull put a new floor in Japan. They put a big upgrade in Imola. They put a big upgrade the other day. They ain't moved. The target hasn't moved.
And to think.
And I think I need people to pay attention to that. The target hasn't moved.
And you're bang on, because guess what? Those pole positions have been there for McLaren to take. They've been there for quite some time, by the way. We've had about maybe 3 to 4 race weekends.
That's an execution thing, even at the end of last year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, it goes to show your point. Like, you know, even with their upgrades, how far are they ahead? And, you know, when Max went on pole got the provisional pole before Lando, Max got the toe. You know, he got a toe to get on that provisional pole. And yes, so did we. We benefited.
And what happened in Imola when Piastri could have got pole? He had a toe.
Yeah, he had a toe as well.
From
yeah. Exactly that.
So when Max says, "Oh, we won without the faster car," this don't last for long. Quite literally one upgrade. One upgrade that moves us a little bit forward. It's not possible. He won't be able to win.
Yeah, it's a bang on. You're bang on with that, you know. Yeah,
if quite literally, if an upgrade gets put on the car and Red Bull are where they are right now, and it gives us a 10th lap, he's gonna drive past Max Verstappen.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you just need to chill. That's what I need people to just relax and just chill out.
Listen. It
happened. Remember with Ferrari and Red Bull at the beginning of 2022.
Yes.
As things progressed, Red Bull just did their thing.
Yeah.
It was inevitable, and then it happened. I just need people to just to relax.
They did their job.
We're in the cool period. What I'm worried about, and I said this for a very, very long time, this is a testing year, guys. This is a practice. This is a practice run. The plan has always been, Zach Brown said it, Stella said it, all we're doing right now is trying to get wins. This ain't a championship charge.
It's not.
Last year was consistent podiums that has been delivered. Now we're trying to get race wins. If we leave this season with 3 race wins, I'm happy. But what we need to do is clean up the executional strategy. We need to stop looking behind. We need to start getting pole positions. and that's working on strategy, getting the car out at the right time, and the drivers delivering when it's the right time as well, and things will come together. Look, let's go back to qualifying. This is a major step.
Let's talk about
Getting
it.
pole position.
Let's talk about it. Let's friggin' talk about it, because we got our first pole since Russia 2021. Hello, people.
That was ages ago.
That was
I want somebody to notice this. Yeah, drivers don't respect sprint. They don't respect. They don't even consider a sprint pole.
They don't consider the sprint pole. Yeah,
none of the drivers. I've noticed this.
Because we've had what? We've had two, right? We've had
three.
Oh, we've had three. So we've had three sprint poles.
We had Oscar in Qatar. We had Brazil, Lando, and we had China, Lando.
Brazil. I forgot about Brazil. Yes. You know, talk about it, man. Listen, as Bonzo Can says here, listen. Shout out to you from Canada, by the way. All the way from Canada.
Shout out to Bonzo.
But like they've said here, a pole, guys. We can't just brush over that. We got a pole position this season. You know, on merit, as Stella said. So, you know, can we talk about what's going on there? You know, Adam says here, perfect lap from pole lap from you know, it was his best pole lap we've ever best quali lap we've ever seen. Yeah, no doubt.
How we're beating Red Bull on pure pace on the archetype track.
Yeah, on one of the most challenging tracks for a standard Formula One car, because it's got everything. It's got everything. Corner. Exactly, every type of corner. You know what I mean? So let's talk about it. I mean, it's huge. This is huge. We're gonna.
And I don't think. Obviously, I didn't watch it at the time. I watched it I watched it a couple hours after. Watched it in the middle of the night, but I don't think people made a big deal of it.
They didn't.
You need to make more of a big deal of this, because now we're cracking the ceiling.
We are indeed. We are indeed.
The Red Bull didn't face no issues. This is a track that they should be dominant on. They should be on pole by 3 times.
Yeah, absolutely. Bang on. And we somehow managed to secure it. We got it secured. It was incredible. As Z says here, the lap was mad, you know, and we have to take in these moments, because I know it seems like, you know, here, you know, pole, let's move on. No. You know, have a look at it here, guys. Number P2 in the Drivers' Championship, Mr. Lando Norris. You know?
Oh yeah, these are the things. These are the things. Yeah.
This is what.
I'm sorry, because like wasn't a Ferrari driver comfy in that position.
Oh, I remember.
And now Lando's there for the first time. That's the first time it's ever been in P2 in jump ship.
Yeah, in his career, yeah. It's his first ever time.
And I feel like this is the time to build a gap. One thing that we are good at as a team is consistently putting point finishes together, even if he's not winning the race.
Yeah.
So we might obviously, if he finishes P2 and then Max finishes P1, we're always going to lose points to Max, right? But we're on a podium streak right now from China.
We are.
We had P2 in China.
Flipping out, yeah.
We had P1 in Miami. We had P2 in Imola. We had P2 in Monaco. We had P2 in Canada, and now we've had P2 in Spain. This is a level of consistency that has not been seen bar Max.
And have a look at this from Masab. That pole and Lando not falling down like what happened to Merck and Ferrari. What's the Oracle said here? 27 points gained on Leclerc in these 2 races.
And that just shows you how quickly things turn around. In reality, if I'm not seeing progress from Red Bull now with these upgrades, and they stay where they are now, and McLaren or any other team makes a little bit of progress from them, that's the kind of turnarounds we're looking at.
Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%.
People can't think. People think in the moment rather than thinking in the future, and you can't. This gap's too small. If I'm Red Bull, I would feel very uncomfortable right now.
Yeah.
because
Is
one
that because is that because of Perez though? Or is that because
Perez is a non-entity.
no? But like, say, is that why you should be worried though? If there was two Maxes, or if there was the equivalent of Oscar and Lando at Red Bull, would you still be worried? Because I wonder if that Perez situation is what sprinkles a lot of doubt in people's mind.
Well, no, because if Max keeps winning, it should keep them above water. It's only if he stops. If Max starts getting P2s and P3s and Perez is nowhere, and and then McLaren getting double podiums or Ferraris on the podium and so on and so on, it's going to get techie for champion constructors. But they don't care about constructors. They will then pivot and only care about winning races for Max time.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah.
You think they don't care about constructors?
They don't care about constructors. They've made it clear. They made it clear in 21 that they don't care about constructors.
Why?
Because they lost to Merck in 21.
Oh, yeah, I mean, to be fair, to lose to 21
quite comfortably as well. Not even
because Bottas was barely around either. Let's have it right.
Bottas was doing the bare minimum and he still beat you.
Indeed. By the way, actually, before I get onto this comment here, shout out to Jay Starship. On you, mate. On you.
Hey. Wait, what's going on here?
If I was rich, I wouldn't say.
If I was rich, I'd be recorded from a McLaren.
Oh, mate, we'll be outside.
In between segments, I'll be revving the engine.
You know, mate, we'll be out there friggin'. We'll be in Woking, mate. Let's have it right. They'll give us a studio and we'll be recording live from there. What's Van talking about?
Me and Zach will make a deal.
You know, big up to Zach Brown. But listen, big up to everybody that's watching right now. Look at this, yeah. We've got 24 race consecutive points, 6 consecutive podiums. Hashtag is
I was
still
going to say this.
Smash a like on the video for that, man.
I was going to say this. You know, we've basically scored points every single race since Austria upgrade last year.
So is it since Austria last year?
Do you know how crazy that is?
Because I was thinking, how far does this stat go?
Like, we've scored points at every single race
at least
since
every
Austria last year.
At least
the driver. The last time McLaren left the weekend without points was Canada last year, 2020.
Are you serious? Are you serious right now?
Yes.
That is friggin' insane. Guys, that's insane. Look at that streak, guys. Look at it. 24. So we've done a calendar season where you scored points every single race.
Yes. Well,
wow.
I think it's the third longest streak in McLaren history.
Oh, really? Oh, we've got form then. We've got form for this.
So we've got form. We can carry this over.
Bear in mind,
I don't want to curse us, but I don't want to curse us with any issues or anything like that. But one thing I will say right now, we got super reliability. Shout out to Mercedes. Our reliability is crazy.
Yeah, that is true. No, that is true. You don't see a Mercedes or a McLaren retire.
Hearing today, Max Verstappen's going to take an engine penalty because his engine in Canada can't be recovered.
His engine
so that's automatic. That's automatic. And I think his engine was moving mad in practice session.
Yeah,
got a new engine in the car, and then
it
effed up in the practice session. And they said they can't recover that engine, so he introduced engine into the pool, and he didn't even use that engine in a race, and it died. So that means the next time he has to bring an engine, he's going to take a penalty. If whatever race that is, he has to take a penalty, Lando Norris or Oscar Piastri has to be on pole.
I tell you
or near the front, or P2. They need to be there because that's automatic win. That race weekend's an automatic win.
We talking? What are we saying? Austria, UK? What are we saying?
I don't know when he's going to take it. It might be Spa, because Spa's always a time when people take engine.
True.
If it's Oscar or Lando and Max is P10 or P11, whatever, or even further back in the grid, we need to get into we need to get into the league and build the biggest gap in the world. I don't care if he cuts through the field or what. We need to be 20, 30 seconds on the road to win that race comfortably. That's just a given. That's a given win.
We need to capitalize. I have faith in the team capitalizing on that, to be fair. Bonzo Can goes on to say we would have had the advantage. Sorry, we'd have to average 7 points per race over over Red Bull to win the constructors, and not impossible. So on average, 7 points higher than 7 points more than Red Bull per race between now and the end of the season to finish number one in the constructors. I mean, if we finish number one in the constructors this year, because listen, Perez's form, hey, it's giving us an opportunity. But what does that look like?
I know. Personally, I just need Perez. I need Oscar to overtake Perez in the constructors.
That's what we need in the drivers. Yeah, we need that.
I need that gap to close down. But personally, if we just go back, pole position, fantastic.
Yes.
But we need to talk about Oscar, man.
Okay, fine. I've tried to avoid this conversation. I've tried to avoid it well. Oscar Piastri in quali was interesting. I think didn't do a time, so it was technically P10, but then started P9 because of Sergio Perez's penalty. So from what my understanding is, we all know about the final lap he took, where he'd gone off, he'd understeered and kind of went off on the. Was it near the second to last lap, around that kind of time? Not last lap.
Second to last corner. Yeah, I'm not too sure what the corner was, but I think the first lap got deleted for track limits.
That was it. Yeah, that I wasn't aware of until after the event, and I was like, So he had 2 bites of this cherry,
and then he tried to do it again, and then he went off.
And
then I looked back and I looked at like the practice sessions. Didn't really look comfortable. He didn't get into the groove all weekend. He just was not there. It's like he didn't turn up at all. And then it kind of translated into the. And you know what's personally, I'm not really worried about Oscar in practice because you've seen him. He builds himself for a weekend. He'll be not that good in P1, practice 1, practice 2, he'll get a little bit better, practice 3, get better. By the time, even in the quality, like Q3 is all right, Q1 is all right, Q2 is all right. But then Q3 turns on, could not turn it on. Yeah. He did not feel comfortable. And not to feel comfortable in one of the most used tracks in Formula 1 where people do testing days. McLaren done testing days there. Like, he's had 2 races there. He's done hella mileage on this track. He knows this track like the back of his hand.
Yeah.
And not to feel comfortable. And he said himself, it's got nothing to do with the car. It was more him. And I think I saw an interview somewhere where it's kind of like, I think somebody spoke to Oscar and it was like, he builds himself into a weekend, but you can't, everybody already starts on the front foot in Spain because everybody knows this track so well and they do testing here and so on. So everybody's on it from the jump, and he just wasn't on it from the jump and he just felt like he was behind. But yeah, it was worrying. I think this is the most worrying weekend I've seen for Oscar, and hopefully this is a one-off, but it wasn't good in qualifying.
I think it was a one-off because the way I took it, and I had to have a think about what's really gone on with him this weekend, and I just think it's one of those ones. It's not a bad day at the office, but it was one of those days where he learned a lot about what Formula One is. I felt like he learned a very harsh lesson of Formula One this weekend, where, as you say, a circuit he should know, a circuit that he's probably been to countless times, practiced countless times in. And I think it was one of those ones where he got into the ring, because this circuit taught a lot of people a lesson because of the manner of it all. Just when you think your car is X, Y, and Z. I mean, the Williams finished, 19 and 20. No car retired this weekend. No safety car. This was just pure racing on a circuit that's going to give you everything. You're going to have slow speed, high speed, it's tire awareness, it's drag, it's this, that, and the other, understeer, oversteer, whatever the case may be. You've got gravel, you've got whatever the case may be. So I just think, personally, in the boxing ring, he just got banged in the face. And it's something that he's got to go home, lick his wounds, and be like, right, okay, because he might have got comfortable with this new groove of McLaren. He might have been in the groove right there, and thought, hey, listen, and I know this circuit, so let's go to a circuit that I know well. The McLaren car is good, meaning it's there for him to perform, and now he has to show it. And we've been impressed with Oscar of recent. We have been impressed with him this season. Let's not get it twisted.
Even most recently, like in Monaco, this is like 2 races ago.
Oh God, yeah, exactly. But then this is Formula One, so every now and again you're gonna get a punch in the face, and I just think this weekend, he can't wait to see the back of it, and I think all I'm gonna say, guys, be prepared for Austria this weekend because I think there's a monster in there this weekend. I genuinely think if it's not Austria, we can look at Silverstone. But I think
he was fantastic last year, Silverstone.
Where he was brilliant at Silverstone. But I'm telling you right now, Oscar out-qualifies Lando Norris this weekend in Austria.
That's a crazy
statement because this is Norris's backyard.
Statement.
This is the Norris backyard.
Lando was qualifying crazy on this track when we had a rubbish car.
Oh yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying is, Oscar got knocked out, man. Oscar got knocked out.
Do you know what it is? Yeah, he looked pissed,
and he was fuming.
He looked pissed.
The thing is,
he's got the mental fortitude, I believe, to kind of put that behind him and okay, I'm on to the next race now. Because you need to be robotic like that as a driver. You can't be thinking about the last race. He wasn't there, and the problem was it's not one of those things, guys, where it was, it's a dead thing. He doesn't understand the tires. He was just slow throughout the weekend. He was.
Look what the Oracle says here. Look, 33 seconds. Let me tell you, this guy got punched in the face, man. And he can't have that.
And the thing is, like, I was, because I watched it on the replay, yeah, I was just in bafflement. I was like, why are you behind an Alpine, man? Why are you taking so long to overtake Gasly? What is going on here? Obviously, there's a dirty air situation and stuff like that, but you've got a significant car advantage. Just clear this guy. And you can tell that he wasn't comfortable because you understand Oscar is one of the most aggressive drivers. He's super aggressive. So for him not even to get that done early doors, I just knew it was going to be a long race. It was going to be a long race. And then even when he did have clear air and he got rid of all those guys, and the only people that were in front of him was Ferraris that were like 11 seconds up the road. He made no inroads.
Yeah.
He made 0 inroads in terms of pace.
He made 0. The thing is as well, we've said this many times before with Oscar. If you get qualifying like P6 and behind, you're going to get caught in the melee and the mess. We've said this several times, and he needs to be qualifying top 4, top 6, top 5 at least.
What happened to Lando in Miami Sprint when he qualified badly? He got clotted.
That was
DNF. Yeah, he got done. Because what are you doing there in the first place?
His dance was done. His dance was done.
And the thing is, I think Oscar, even prior to Spain, he's been outstanding in quality.
Yeah.
He's been top 3. He's been on top 2, 3. Top 2 rows, front 2 rows immediately in the last couple of races. But so I just need to pick it up because it's now damaging the constructors' fight. Sure,
but Mahad, it will be normal service resumed. I'm telling you. I just think he.
Do you know what it is? Yeah. I hold him to a high regard to the point where if something happened and Lando left, this guy could operate at the same level. I was expecting him to come into this season and outperform Lando in certain particular races, right?
Yeah.
To a significant level. I've not seen that to significant. I'm just comparing this to. Let me compare Lando's second year in Formula One and Oscar's second year in Formula One. This is not better than Lando's second year in Formula
One. No.
In the first 9 races, Lando was battering sides. He was beating him quality as well, head to head.
Yeah.
So I expect Oscar to go more toe to toe with Lando, and I need to start seeing that gap close because it's expected. This is a mega talent, and I know people are going to say the child, but he's going against Lando and stuff like that. But he's an elite driver in his own right.
He's an elite driver,
so he needs to prove it. He needs to prove it.
He won F3
now.
And
F3 you're in a top car now.
You are. And you got to show up.
And I said, what did I say a couple of weeks ago? I said, after Imola, I'm not doing this tire deck thing anymore. I don't care. You're in your second year of Formula One. I'm not allowing it. I'm not allowing any more time. I didn't allow any more time for Lando. So why don't I need to allow any time for Oscar? I didn't allow time for Ricciardo.
Yeah, absolutely.
For me, you get 1 year. Imola, because he didn't race there last year, I gave him a blight. I said, after that, I don't want to hear no tire deck talk.
Yeah, no, facts. Facts. Bonzo says, I think a weekend like this was going to happen at some point of the season for Oscar, but I think in Austria he will do well. People are saying that he will do well in Austria. Z says the same
I
thing.
think
He'll
he'll
be
do well
okay.
in Austria. I think I'm hoping a podium.
I'll be stressed if he
And it's a
struggles.
sprint weekend as well. And it's a sprint weekend, so there's not
sprint
many
as well, yeah.
people that have the opportunity to dial in their car as much.
Yeah, it's true.
But you know, McLaren's about that.
Oh, we love that. We seem to thrive when people don't have time. Drea says, guys, it was a really off weekend from Oscar, but he's still very new. So as long as it's not happening doesn't happen too often, it's all right. The pressure is higher now too because the car is good. So maybe that got to Oscar a little bit. He is human after all. His level of calmness wasn't really normal, in my opinion. Yeah, he just didn't seem happy with that at all. Big up to Ranch. Get me. What's going on? Hope you're good. Hope you're well. Brother, growth isn't linear. Brother, growth isn't linear, and he's growing.
It's not about growth, man. It's not about growth. It's not about growth. It's about whatever your speed is in year 2 is your speed. You don't get any faster. You just get more experience, and you understand the tires more and stuff like that. Bro, if you've been on a track already last year, you've done 77 laps plus whatever amount of laps you did in practice and so on and so on. You need to understand the tires. And I'm not saying that not everybody understands the tires because everybody struggles with them, yeah. But you need to be operating at a certain level. Yeah. Let's hold every single one of these drivers. Oh, baby, no drivers.
Hold them accountable.
I hold them accountable.
And that's
fair.
I'm
not saying growth is linear or not, or some people just blow up out of nowhere and stuff like that. But just it's not even about a growth thing. It's more to do with just show that with the race you was at last year, you're better than this year. You're better this year.
Yeah,
that's it.
No, 100%. I mean, look. All in all,
I'm not benchmarking Oscar against Lando. I'm benchmarking him against what my expectation is of him. It's a completely separate conversation. Some people talk about Oscar and Lando together and they use the comparison. I'm just talking about Oscar and what my expectation of him. Maybe I sound like some stern dad. I've just got an expectation that this guy, if something was to happen, at this point in time, I could say I expect him to lead the team if he wanted to lead the team. If he was really putting in crazy performances, he could take Lando's chain, but he's not.
To be fair,
I would want the conflict. I'd want them to be going at it and scrapping whatever to see who's the best.
You want that beef, yeah? You want that beef.
Lando's in the ring right now, and Oscar ain't even come to the ring.
Yeah, true. No, true.
We're in the 9th, 10th race, whatever. He's not here yet.
No, we are still waiting a bit.
So I'm solely focusing on Oscar. I'm not worried about Lando. Lando could do what he's doing. We've seen what Lando's about. Lando's automatic on the podium. What I need to know why Oscar's not automatic on the podium. I want him as an automatic on the podium. I can't go around telling people we've got the best driver lineup.
Yeah.
If that's happening.
Because if we need more consecutive podiums from Oscar for sure. If we are going to be claiming to have the best driver pairing on the grid, there's no denying that. Shout out to Mark who says we're comparing Oscar to Lando, but Lando is improving year on year as well. They are both still young. We saw another new commenter as well. Zane R. Shout out to you. Well, if I can actually get there. There we go. Zane R says, yep, next upgrades are scheduled for Silverstone. Is that true?
True? I think Andrea said small pieces are coming up in the upcoming races. So I think we're not doing the whole bring 10 upgrades in one race. We're doing bit by bit. I think just like how normal teams do it. But yeah, that should be the case, yeah. In terms of upgrades.
In the end, we finished P2 and P7 in the race. Good haul of points. I think Lando got the fastest lap as well, if I remember correctly. So
should we talk about why we didn't win the race?
Well, I think we did say. In my opinion, okay.
Why do you think we didn't win the race? Did you expect? You already expressed that you was very gutted about it.
I was gutted because we were on merit. We were on pole, and therefore you should win the race. That at the end of the day, like, and it's the fact that when Lando had that clean air, because obviously he was struggling against Russell, got that clean air, and the gap he closed on Verstappen again, and then at the end of the race, what was the end of the race gap? How many seconds did he finish behind Max in the end?
2.2.
What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? At one stage, it was, what was it, 8 seconds? Then it ended on 2.
It was a big gap. That's why, at that point, I was like, this race is over. I was just focused on other stuff. I was like, oh, bro.
So was I.
They put Russell on hards and Sainz on hard. They got shafted by the only team for no reason.
No, on the real.
I was focused on that, and then I was like, hold on, what's going on here?
So was I. And that's what I think. I didn't need to see those stats at the end. I didn't need that. I needed Lando to finish 7 seconds behind Max, because then I would be like, it is what it is. Maybe he would have held on for like half the race, and then we still would have got tipped. No. We should have won that race. I'm sorry. We should have won the race. We were on pole by merit. We were then, the start was woeful, but as I mentioned, as soon as George could not hold on against Max, that was that. That was the end of that conversation.
Man off the pant immediately, Didn't even hold him up for 3 laps. He was just like, yeah, come through, Max. I was like, I allow it. And then man's doing life or death fights with Norris.
Why do you think we didn't win?
Wheel to wheel the whole time. Why did I think we didn't win?
Yeah.
Because I think Lando attempted to cut off Max instead of thinking about his own entry into turn 1. That's me personally.
Ain't it because of the spin? Isn't it because of the wheel spin that he had to revert? Because there's no wheel spin. What are we saying? Are we saying that he still gets picked by turn 1?
No. Because the priority is, even if Max comes out of that corner as first, you cannot have a car in between you lot. If you see that George is on your left, even though he came out of nowhere, I can't. Let me try to explain this in a clear way. Max is on your inside. You try to do a chop block moves where you're trying to cut off his lane, right? So you got the inside, right? That doesn't work. Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to prioritize your normal racing line and make sure nobody comes on your outside. Give up the inside, go on the outside, and make sure that happens. You can't do this halfway house thing. I'm saying, I'm gonna push him on. Let me push him onto the grass, whatever. Just the thing's done. Just get into the middle of the track now. Make sure you get a clean entry into turn 1.
Sorry, how far do you reckon? Say he covers off George, right, and Max is off, right? How long will it have taken, or do you even think we would have come back to actually attack Max at some stage in the race?
I think from
Max
that
clean air, it would have been.
Yeah, Max clean air, but we're directly behind Max. If we came out the corner, Max is P1 and Lando is P2. It's them two. They race it. They let them do their thing. If Lando goes long with the tires, his tires go longer because obviously Red Bull's tires they got quicker. So on. Then it's a tactical game. Then you're playing 1 versus 1. But if you're letting Russell be in the stop in between and your gap gets built up, that gap is the loss. If you're charging Max Verstappen at the end of the race and you didn't have that gap, and you was only a couple seconds behind him, you win the race.
No, that's a good point. It's a good point.
Even then, yeah, DRS is very powerful. During the last couple of stint, I think Max was faster in the speed trap and stuff. No, not Norris was faster in the speed trap, but personally, I believe we would still get him through DRS just because that DRS is so powerful. But yeah, I just think after that it was so messy and scrappy. Man was talking about on the radio, oh yeah, should we cover off George? Should we box to cover off George? Come on, man, that's not your race anymore, man. These guys are slower than you lot. Stop looking behind you.
It's tough. I mean, TSJ Awesome's point here though, 4 times that that Lando has started first, he hasn't led into turn 1.
That's because the Red Bull's better in the second phase.
Simply, that's all it is.
And it's also because Max Verstappen is very good.
Is there anything to be concerned about?
Look what used to happen in turn one between him and Hamilton.
He went toe to toe with him.
More than likely, Verstappen's coming out.
Yeah.
P1. Regardless if he's P2, it don't matter. He's coming out P1. unless they clash or something's happening.
Yeah.
Max Verstappen is very good at race starts. The Red Bull is fantastic race starts. Perez is outstanding at race starts because the car is elite in the second phase.
So are you concerned at all?
I'm concerned that that's something that needs to be worked on because we make our own gearboxes. So that's something that it's not like we can go blame Merck because look at Russell, his launch was nuts.
Yeah,
and it was something that I remember back in 2021. I used to hamper Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
He used to get bogged down because, especially in the second phase. But I'm not really interested in race starts or this is what going to cause us to win or lose and stuff like that. Yeah. If we end up having the faster car, we win the race because we have the drivers that will deliver the goods.
Yeah,
we've seen it already.
That's very true.
Let's go harping back all the way to Austria 2022. That day, Ferrari, no matter what, had a faster car than Red Bull. It didn't matter what Max.
Was that the barbecue?
It quite literally did not matter what Max Verstappen did in that race. He could not defend against Leclerc. It's over.
Yeah,
because that car couldn't. The car was nowhere near the Ferrari, and then because Leclerc is a very good driver, he could deliver and win that race quite comfortably.
Quite comfortably. Yeah.
If we even get a similar type of margin in terms of performance in the car, then Max Verstappen has no chance. There's no way. There's no possible way. So I'm just chilling. I'm just focused. I'm just thinking, okay, let me see what these guys are doing. Ferraris have developed backwards. Aston Martin's developed backwards. Yes, Mercedes back on the scene. Red Bull. Is their upgrades? Do their upgrades work to the level that of McLaren? Do they make progress like that? Let's just see. Let's see. Because there will be a point where Red Bull fuck this up, or Red Bull. Or might be even a small period of time where we have the upgrades and they don't, and we out-jump them. We will win the race. We will win the race. But
it's there.
I think, one thing I think, overall, I think our race execution was poor. From the drivers to the strategy team to the pit stop crew. We're going to do the ratings right now, and we're going to speak about that.
There's a comment here that's touching on that as well.
And I think everybody, we're going to learn from it because we don't have a sample set. Red Bull have a sample set of, remember that race that we fucked up on in 2015? Whatever. Yeah. They've got all of that data available. They've got all those scenarios. They've learned over the years and years and years, and it didn't really matter because Mercedes win the race, right? Every single time they effed up and did something wrong, they've dealt with that. They've learned from that. McLaren have no data. This current McLaren team have no data because they've not been here before. So for you as a fan to expect the team to know what to do in certain scenarios when they've not been there before against the team that have been there before and they know what it's been like. This is an experience game. There shouldn't be this expectation, but there should be an expectation to learn. That's why the one specific thing that pisses me off is the weather stuff because they should know. We've been in that scenario a million times now. Right? But all this other stuff, like, when have we been in that scenario? Tell me right now when we've been in that scenario. The same scenario that we've been in the Spanish Grand Prix. Tell me when we've been in that scenario in the last 10 years. No, we've not been in that scenario.
Yeah.
So it goes in the memory banks. There you go. We learn from that.
Yeah, 2024, as you said, is a rehearsal.
It's a rehearsal. I swear to God, if I see the same mistakes and the same stuff that's going on in 2025, this is going to be this is a different show.
Questions will be asked.
This will be a different show.
Questions will be asked. Who Wants to Groove says this might sound judgmental, but the team needs to not be asking about strategy and waiting for Lando to figure it out on track and give him direction. I mean, with that, is there something on the strategist? Well, you may want to combine the strategist out of 10 here. With this,
I've seen it with Oscar as well. We do community strategy rather than just telling. Look at what's going on over at Red Bull. I swear they just tell Verstappen what to do.
True.
They don't have a conversation. They ask
True.
him,
There is no
how's your
conversation.
tires doing? How's the balance? That's it. They do not ever ask him, should we do this? Should we do that? Ever. They literally tell him.
And if worst comes to worst, because they seem to always have the answers, even when he doesn't.
Yeah, they tell him, don't worry about that. How much times has
Yeah.
GP said, don't worry
GP.
about it? We're doing that because sometimes Max tries to get involved in strategy. And they said, don't you worry about that. That's not your business.
This is not your plan. This is not your this is below your pay grade.
Exactly.
You
So
know?
do not talk about strategy with us. We're doing our own thing. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's years of experience. Is that not experience, guys?
Mm.
These are asking questions because they need information because they haven't got the experience to make those decisions.
Yeah.
And how are they
It's
going to get those? And how do you get experience in this life? By going through these scenarios.
you
So
gotta go through these scenarios.
we should call this episode "Growing Pains"
Growing pains. I
because
think
this is the
so.
growing pains.
And it fits with Oscar's weekend as well. The Oracle says that strategist is going to get 6. What's your strategist rating out of 10 this weekend? Because I don't think the strategy was that bad.
I think going long was the best thing to do after losing the lead because
Yeah,
we have to lean on the advantage of the car. But I think looking back on George, more good idea. I think yeah, I'm just gonna give him a 6.
interesting.
I'm not too sure, man. I'm not too sure. I'm reserved on the team until we get at least a couple, maybe 3-4 times that we've been in that scenario. I need to see what's going on, but yeah, they get a 5 from me, I think, and I think
Who's getting a 5? Who's getting a 5?
strategy. Strat's getting a
Wow.
5.
Wow. Okay.
I don't want
Like
him asking. I don't want him asking. It's asking what's going on.
Okay.
I think that the questions they're asking, no, this is not. Maybe that's rude. I think if I talk about this race in isolation, maybe 6.5. I
Interesting.
think I'm using it as a collective of what's happened in the last couple of races that I've heard a couple of radios that don't like.
That you don't like, yeah. Shout out to Nadar. Hopefully, I got that correct this time. Saying strategy 7. Z says strategy 6.5. I'm not a fan of them asking drivers so many questions. However, they've gone on to the pit crew. Oh dear. Now,
So we had a 2.4 second pit stop from
yes,
what I remember was. So that's okay, but everybody else was getting 2.2 to 2.1s. I don't know
that's
what's
the
going
thing.
on.
That's the
I don't know
thing.
what's going on. When there's no pressure, we're getting 1.8s or 1.9s and 2. But when it's race winning time,
When the heat is on,
we're sticking up 3-pointers. What is going on?
yeah, it's not been great. Z says not a fan of the pit stops. The Oracle has put a 4.5 for pit stop. Yeah, the pit stops
No,
were great.
it's nasty. It was nasty.
It's not great. It's not great.
When you compare it to everybody else, it's not good.
Dre is saying I was happy with the strategy and doing something different. I feel like we were Red Bull 2020. I was okay with the strategy, by the way. I was actually okay with it.
No. I was okay. I was okay with the whole going along, both drivers, stuff like that.
But yours is more so just what you've seen of
I
late.
just see the radios.
Yeah.
Mine was more general, but I think that's why I said 6.5 because I think that's okay. I think to beat Red Bull within that scenario when it's quite marginal, you need to do something different.
Yeah.
But if you have a faster car, just do exactly what Red Bull do. You know me. If in doubt, just copy Red Bull.
Just do what Red Bull do. What about your drivers? What's your drivers out of 10?
Lando, I'm gonna give him 8.5. Not 8. I'll give him 8.
8?
Oscar, I'm giving a 5. He needs to do better, man.
Oh, yeah, Oscar gets a 5. He gets a 5. He got knocked out this week.
Because
Lando,
I'll tell you this now. If that was a Ricardo-esque performance.
It was. No
I saw
time being
flashbacks
set,
of Ricardo.
no time being set in quali is not acceptable. P7.
Actually, no, that's unfair because Ricardo wouldn't get into Q1, Q3.
Wow.
So I'm unfair. Sorry, Oscar. I'm going to give you a 6.
I'm still giving him a 5. No time set in Q3 is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Lando Norris is going to get 8.5. He got on pole, guys. He got on freaking pole position.
Oh yeah. Okay,
What we
let's give him
doing?
a 0.5 for pole. Yeah, give
What we
him
doing?
0.5 for pole.
If I want to give him, I want to give him a 9. I want to give him a 9 because he got a pole, he got second place, and he got fastest lap. What the hell's the matter with everybody?
Oh yeah, our standards have got. Look, everybody's giving him 8 and 7s. Come on, guys, man.
Look at us.
8.5 right now.
Look at us. Look at us. Flipping hell. This was the first.
Yeah,
race
that I was about to say that. This is quite literally that's the truth. That's the first bad race I've seen him do.
Yeah.
In a McLaren, in a McLaren uniform. That's the worst race he's done.
You guys are outrageous, man. You guys are freaking outrageous. I'll give Lando 8.5 because of the pole. Oscar gets a 5. Lando 8.5. Oscar 5.5 says Adam. I'm trying to think if there's a very quickly then for this weekend, the review of the Austrian Grand Prix before you wrap up. What are we thinking? What are we thinking?
I think this is the best opportunity this season to get double podium.
I'm telling you right now, the double podium is frigging on, guys.
And I think a sprint win is on the line.
A sprint win is on the line as well. A sprint win.
I think we can get sprint. I think we can get a sprint win.
A sprint win is on the line.
If we leave this week, I think this is one of those tracks. If you get the balance right, you get everything right. I think you could dominate.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We definitely can.
So we can win both races. 100%.
This is
and Drea, I need you to tell the people of Austria about McLaren Fan TV. If you see McLaren fans, let them know. And Drea, have a fantastic time.
Yes.
You or whoever you're going with, enjoy yourself. And I want a good review. I want you to let the people know about McLaren Fan TV, and I hope you get to see a McLaren winning person.
Absolutely. Definitely jealous of Drea.
Enjoy yourself.
Oh, make sure you do. Z says winning the sprint and the Grand Prix. That, people, is where we will end this week before all of you lot go watch your Euros and finish the Euros off this evening.
Yeah.
McLaren, listen, we're here. We're here, people. We're in the conversation. We're disappointed with P2s. We're disappointed about our starts after getting pole positions. Okay? We'll be back next week. I guarantee you guys we're going to have something to smile about next weekend. That's almost guaranteed. Until next time, people. Peace. See you next week.